Hello everybody, good morning. First of all, we would like to thank the Port of Venice for the great hospitality, for the Green Port magazine for making a wonderful article about the eco-wave power, and for the organizers of the conference. Today I was here for the whole 3 days of the conference, and we heard a lot about the possibility of implementing wind power and solar power, but there is one obvious resource that all the ports in the world have, which is wave energy. My company, eco-wave Power, developed a unique technology for wave energy generation. And today I will present you a short lecture, let's call it, that explains, first of all, why wave energy is a very good resource, why eco-wave Power at the moment is the most advanced wave energy developer in the world, and what is the opportunity for ports that eco-wave Power presents. So why wave energy? At the moment, 2/3 of the world population are living within 200 kilometers from the coastline. With this kind of population distribution, the need of wave energy becomes inevitable. In addition, wave energy is a much more stable resource than wind and solar. Solar is very much dependent on the sunshine. So for example, in the night, you cannot generate any electricity. Wind energy is also a very good source and very much a commercialized source. But the problem is that wind power is the most dominant early in the morning or very late at night, when the usage of the population is actually at the lowest. So what happens is that the electric company pays subsidized prices for energy that is not actually being used at the moment of generation. Another advantage of wave energy is the density of the water. Actually, wave energy is 1,000 times has the kinetic energy of air. With such a density of the energy, you can produce much larger electricity amounts with much smaller devices. Smaller devices means also cheaper devices. So when David and I, we were both the entrepreneurs behind the eco-wave power, decided to go into that industry, everybody told us, why wave power? They tried so many years and they didn't succeed. Going to the solar, going to the wind industry, it's much more commercialized. You can just go and buy the panels from China, 1 million euro per 1 megawatt, it's a good price. But actually we said to ourselves, no, the wave energy industry has a very vast potential. All the engineers, all the researchers are believing in it. And the only problem that it had in 2011 when we actually opened the company is really the prices were very, very high because most competitors chose to go offshore, which is 4 or 5 kilometers into the sea. And the second problem was also related to the offshore implementation, is the fact that in the offshore there are waves of even 20-meter high. So the equipment has no way of avoiding the storms, and the many different wave energy solutions that were installed in the offshore actually broke down after a few days, causing a total loss to the system because the generators, all the conversion equipment was actually inside the floater. So we said to ourselves, what can we do in order to kind of eliminate this reliability and price problems? How can we develop a different solution? So here's a simple example of how our system works. Basically, the floaters are connecting to breakwaters, jetties, and different ocean structures that are located in ports. They're very simply connected, there's no change needed in the breakwater. The floaters are going up and down, pushing the hydro cylinder that is marked as number 2. The hydro cylinder pushes hydraulic pressure inside of land-located accumulators. The pressure turns a hydro motor, turns a generator, and produces electricity. Only 10% of the price of our system is located in the water, only number 1 and 2 in the picture, the floaters and the hydro cylinders. All the rest of the equipment is located on land, just like a regular power station, therefore providing reliability to our solution. So what did our company do since its establishment? We were established in March 2011. In December 2011, we already finalized the wave tank testing of our solution and proved the workability of our system. In April 2012, we installed in the Black Sea the first real conditioned wave power station, and were able to create a power matrix that is showing which wave height and which wave period are producing which amount of electricity. In May 2013, we established a subsidiary in China that is currently developing a 50 megawatt project in Zhejiang province. In January 2014, we also established a company in Mexico that is in construction of 4.1 megawatt project in the port of Manzanillo. We also have an R&D facility that is installed in Jaffa port. In our R&D facility, which is an actual power station, we're developing new floater shapes, new type of automation, and constantly improving and optimizing our equipment. In June 2014, we signed the first power purchase agreement, commercial scale power purchase agreement in Europe actually for wave energy in Gibraltar. The power purchase agreement is for 5 megawatt, which is 15% of all Gibraltar's electricity need. And actually it is the first renewable energy solution that was ever installed in Gibraltar. Gibraltar is wonderfully located in Europe, it is very central, but it has a big space limitation. So solar panels is not a possibility. Wind energy is also not possible because they have a lot of bird migration. And the government environmental office puts a lot of emphasis on protecting the unique species of birds that are there. So wave energy was a great solution for them. They didn't need any land space. They actually installed it on a breakwater from the Second World War that was there and wasn't used for anything. After we finished the Gibraltar power station, we also received the pioneering device approval from the chief scientist of the government of Israel. This is the first time that the government of Israel is obliged to actually set a feed-in tariff for wave energy. Most of European countries actually have a feed-in tariff for wave energy. Gibraltar, UK, Italy, Ireland, France is a company that already has very high subsidized feed-in tariffs for wave energy. Israel wasn't one of the countries that has, and now they will set such a feed-in tariff. In May this year, we launched our power station in Gibraltar, and in the next slide, we will also see photos how it looks like. So this is the beginning of our development. This is the installation that we made in the wave pool in the Hydromechanical Institute in Kiev. Here you can see we were testing different shapes of floaters in order to choose which shape, weight, and the material of floaters are best implemented in different locations around the world. This is the construction of our medium-scale power station, the power station that is actually now installed in Jaffa port. Here you can see it installed in the Crimean Peninsula. This is the first real condition installation that we made. This is our Jaffa port facility. We actually let local artists from Jaffa port, which is a very artistic port, kind of paint on our floaters in order to create a bit of ecotourism and a bit of attraction around the power station that we made. Here we can see the construction of the Gibraltar power station. You can see that on the picture with the tractor that basically it's a very old jetty, it wasn't used for anything, and EcoWave Power was actually able to do something wonderful with it, use an unused space and create clean, green electricity which has no pollution effects. This is how the Gibraltar power station looks like. Basically, you have 8 floaters. The 8 floaters at the moment are producing a capacity of 100 kilowatt connected to the low voltage grid. No underwater cables are needed. You can see that you don't see the actual power station in that picture because the power station is located on land. The only thing that is in the water are the floaters. This is the inside of our power station. Here you can see in red is the accumulators. The accumulators take the pressure from the floaters, transmit it to the hydro motors and to the generators that we're actually using by Siemens in this case, and they're producing clean electricity into the grid. Now here in this picture we can see our storm protection mechanism. One of the greatest fears of the wave energy, as I said, was the reliability issue. So we developed a system that actually automatically discovers when the waves are too high for the system to handle and lift the floaters above the water level or sinks them in some location under the water level like a submarine, thereby protecting all the equipment. And here we can see an illustration of the 5 megawatt power station that we're planning in the next 2 years to erect in the Gibraltar. You can see that we're making it very visually pleasing. Here it's made a bit, it's designed a bit in a creative way, like a piano, in order to create some more ecotourism around this issue. So, EWP and ports, how can we collaborate? Basically, EcoWave Power has very strong funding institutions that are backing it and that believe in our technology. Therefore, we don't require funding from the ports at all. We're installing our equipment in the port's breakwaters free of charge. What we need from the port is an approval to use your breakwater, your unused structures, and an approval or assistance in getting the approval from the electric company in order to connect to the grid. How is the installation process? As I mentioned before, our installation process is very easy. No underwater cables are needed. The environmentalists are not objecting our technology because it does not connect to the ocean floor. It only connects to man-made existing structures. Another advantage for the port when we're connecting to the structure is that actually we're saving the cost of the renovation of such structures. A big problem that ports are having is erosion of the breakwaters, and once you install our equipment in the front of the breakwater, you're actually minimizing the destructive powers of the waves and creating a clean, good electricity. So what are the advantages for the port? First of all, the obvious one is a clean supply of electricity. For letting us use your breakwater, we're giving you a certain percent of the electricity for the use of the port free of charge. An additional advantage is some of our electricity is being sold to the grid, so we're willing to share with the port for letting us use your facilities a certain percentage of our revenues from the electricity sale, thereby creating an additional revenue stream for the port. Other than that, EcoWave Power believes in making all the heavy equipment, all the steel equipment in proximity to the location of implementation. So we're creating workplaces, we're creating a whole new industry, a positive green industry around the port, which is definitely a good advantage for ports. Other than that, the equipment is proved to protect breakwater against coastal erosion, thereby minimizing the renovation cost of such breakwaters that are very needed to protect the ports against the waves. And the last advantage is the ecotourism. If you'll have a chance to visit our power station in Gibraltar, you will see that it is very visually pleasing. We get a lot of schools that are coming there to learn about the technologies, university, businessmen, banks, funding institutions. Everybody that visited there were very positively impressed. Even the Environmental Agency of Gibraltar and the EU, which co-funded with us the power station, had the chance to visit there and were very pleased from the look of the station. So we hope you join us in our mission of making the world a greener place. And thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.